In this session, we shall simply do a number of worked examples from the topic of functions. Now, the examples here, we have number 1, we have number 2, then we'll get to number 3, number 4, and finally number 5. You may feel free to first pause the video so that you first attempt the questions, and thereafter watch the video to see if you get the correct answers. So let's get straight into it. Number 1 is telling us that if f of x is equal to 4x minus 8, then part A, what is f of 2? Now if you look at this function, f of x is equal to 4x minus 8, where there is x, when x, if you may look at it this way, that x is in the brackets, so when we look at this linear function, whatever is here is what is substituted here. So now if you look at part A is saying that what is f of 2? The function where the value of x is 2. Now since in the brackets we are having x and this is the function, so in the place of x we have 2, it means that even in this function where there is x is where we are going to put 2, and then we'll be able to get the answer to this expression. So in this case this is going to become 4 times x, the value of x is 2, 4 into 2 minus 8, and that's going to become 4 times 2 is 8 minus 8, and that is going to give us 0. That is part A. Let's get to part B. Part B is what is f of 3. We are going to do it like before. F of 3 means that it's going to become, our function is 4 times our value of x. In this case, our value of x, there is 3 in the brackets, minus 8. And this is going to become 4 times 3 is 12, minus 8. And our answer right there is 4. Let's go to part C. Part C is what is the function where the value of x is mouse. So it means where there is x, we are simply going to put that word mouse. So part C, it's f of mouse is going to be equal to 4 into brackets. Now where there was x, in here there is mouse, so we shall put here the word mouse, minus 8. Mathematically we can't go beyond this, so that's the answer. Part D, if f of x is 16, what is the value of x? So now still our f of x is equal to 16. So what is the value of x in this case? Now of course f of x is equal to 16. Our f of x, according to our question, f of x is given by 4x minus 8. So our f of x is the same as 4x minus 8. That is going to be equal to 16. So you can go ahead and find the value of x. In this case, it's going to become 4x is going to be equal to 8 comes this side. It becomes 16 plus 8. So we have 4x giving us 24. When we divide both sides by 4, we end up with our value of x as 6. And that's our answer. Part E, we are being told that if the function whereby the value of x is 2b is going to be equal to 28, what is the value of b? So we go ahead and find the value of b. Now remember our function up here is f of x is equal to 4x minus 8. It means that whatever is in the brackets is what is supposed to be put here. Now right here, what is in the brackets, our value of x is 2b. So it means that in the place of x here we are going to put 2b. So this is going to become 4 times, in the place of brackets we put 2b minus 8. That's going to give us 28. So we open brackets here, 4 times 2 is 8b minus 8 is equal to 28. And so this, our 8b becomes 28 plus 8. 8b is equal to 36. When I divide both sides by 8, I shall end up with my value of b as 4.5. Now part F. Part F is telling us that f of c plus the function of where the value of x is 2c is equal to 8, find the value of c. So we go ahead and find the value of c now. Of course, from our original function, the original function is f of x is equal to 4x minus 8. Looking at this function where there is x is what we put here. If there is 2 here, we put 2 here. If there is 3 here, we put 3 here. Because the function when the value of x is the function of this variable is given by that function. Now here, when you look at this statement, in our brackets we are having the value of x being given as c. So it means that according to this expression, this is the same as saying f of c, our value of x is c. So now when we put c right there, it means that this 4x, this is also going to become a c. So that is how we do our next step. We substitute, so this is going to become 4c minus 8, plus, again, here this is f of x, our value of x is 2c, so in the place of x here we shall put 2c. This was an interpretation for f of c, plus, now this one is going to become 4 times x, our value of x is 2c minus 8 is equal to 8. So we go ahead, simplify this expression and find the value of c. So this is going to become 4c minus 8 plus 8c minus 8 is going to give us 8. So this becomes 4c plus 8c, 12c, then minus 8 gives us minus 16 is going to give us 8. So we have 12c being equal to 8 plus 16, that is after 16 coming this way, and it becomes a positive after crossing the equal signs. So this becomes 12c is giving us 24. Divide both sides by 12. We shall end up with our value of c as 2. So doing part G is going to become, remember our initial function, we say that f of x is going to be given by 4x minus 8, and we also said that where there is x, we substitute in that expression. So whatever is put in these brackets here is what is representing what we put here in the expression. So in this case, we're being told that f of 3d minus 7 is equal to 12. Now in the brackets we're having this whole expression. It means that this whole expression is what is taking up this value of x. This value of x is a linear equation, and so that is what we are going to substitute for in this expression right here. So this becomes 4x, 4 times our value of x, which is this whole expression, which is 3d minus 7 minus 8. Minus 8 is equal to 12. So we go ahead and open brackets and find the value of d. So this becomes 12d minus 28 minus 8, giving us 12. So this is going to become 12d minus 36, giving us 12. 12d is going to become, this 36 comes this side, it's a negative 36, crosses the equal signs, comes this way, it becomes positive 12 plus 36, and then we end up with our value of 12d giving us 48. When we divide both sides by 12, we end up with our value of d as 4. Now in our number 2, we are having a table that is giving us values of x and then the values of f of x. Now the values of f of x in this case are 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 and 11. It means that when we plug in these values of x in this function, we are able to get these as our answers. These are the values of f of x, or if I may say, if this is the value of x, this is the corresponding value of y. Now looking at this, we are being told that for the function in the table besides, what is the function where the value of x is 3? Now in this case, the value of x in that case, in that bracket, is 3. So we shall come to the value of x and look for 3. 3 is right there. So it means the function f of x, the value of y, or the value of this function is 5. So for part A, the answer is 5. If I may go to part B, If f of a is equal to 7, what is a? Now we are being told that the function when the value of x is a, the answer we get is 7. So now if the function when the value of x is a is 7, then what is a? Now for us to get to the value of a, it means we need to go and find where the whole function, the value is 7. And if you come to our table, where a is 7 is right there. I mean where f of x is 7 is right there. And this value of a has been replaced by x. Like our value of x is actually a. So f of a is 7. So when f of a is 7, it means the value of a here is 4. So it means that this value of a here is 4. So when the value of a is 4, or when the value of a, or in this case when the value of x is 4, the function is equal to 7. Now let's go to part C. We are being told that if f of 2, or when the value of x is 2, the function is equivalent to b. What is the function of 2b? So it means we need to first find b. Now to find the function f, when f of 2 is equal to b, so to first get the value of b, it means we've been told that it is b when the value of x here is 2. So we come to our table. When the value of x is 2, f of x is going to be 3. So it means that if this is our value of x here is 2, f of x is 2. So the function here is equal to 3. So it means that f of 2 is 3. Therefore, our value of b is 3. Now that we know that our value of b is 3, now we can go ahead and find f of 2b. So it means that in this case it's going to become f of 2b is giving you f of 2 times our value of b, which is 3. In this case it's going to be f of 6. So what is our f of 6? What is the function when the value of x is 6? So we can go ahead and find that. What's our function when our value of x is 6? The value is 11. So it means that this is going to be, so our f of 2b is 11, and that's how that number is. Number 2 ends like that. Now if g of x is equal to x squared, then we need to answer part A, B, and C with reference to this expression, or with reference to this function. We are being told that the function of g when is equal to g of x, the function g where x is a variable, is given by x squared. So now what is the function of g when the variable is negative 2? So first of all, we know that the function g of x is equal to x squared. The function g when x is the variable is given by x squared. So what is g when the variable is negative 2? Therefore, this is part A. So g when the variable is negative 2, like we are saying here, is going to mean that where the variable is, we substitute here, it becomes negative 2 squared, and this is going to become negative 2 times negative 2 and gives us positive 4. So we go ahead and find part B. Part B tells us that if g, the function g when with a variable m is equal to 36, find the value of m. Remember, all this is in reference to that expression. So it means that our variable has become m. In this case, where there is x, we have put m. Our variable has become m. In other words, the value of x now is m. And they're telling us that when we come and put m right there, our value, the value of this expression of the function is 36. So it means in this expression, g of x, our value of x has become m. It means that if there is m here, it means that this is the same as seeing m squared right there. So this becomes m squared is the same as 36. To go ahead and find the value of m, we find the square root on both sides. This goes with that. M becomes, this square root of 36 is either a positive 6 or a negative 6. So the value of m, the values of m are actually 2. That is our part B. Again, now g, the variable g where the value of x in this case now has become w is equal to 12. Find g of 2w. So gw is equal to 12. So first of all, we seek to find the value of w. So it means that if g is equal to originally the variable was x, and when the variable of x, it gives us x squared. So now if the variable is w right there, it means that this is supposed to be also w squared. We just substitute. So it means that this becomes w squared here is given by 12. So for us to go ahead and get the value of w, we find the square root on both sides, so that this goes with that, you remain with w, giving us the square root of 12. Now we have the value of w, but the question requires us to find the variable, the g of 2w. So we go ahead and substitute that right there. So what is g of 2w? Now g of 2w is going to become, of course, g of 2w, remember from our initial expression, it is g of x is equal to x squared. What is in the brackets here is what takes up the place of x in the expression. So here what is in the brackets here is 2w, so that is exactly what is going to take up the place of x in this expression, which is going to become 2w squared. So this is going to become 2 times w. Now we got w as the square root of 12 times the square root of 12, and all this is squared. So we can go ahead and find our answer. This squared, of course, this is going to become 2 root of 12 times 2 root of 12. So this is going to become 2 times 2 is 4 times, of course, a square root. A square root of a number times the square root of the number gives you that very number. So this is going to remain times 12. And of course, 12 times 4 times 12 gives us 48. And that is our answer. So going on to number 4, we have delta x is given by 1 minus 3x. So if delta x is given by 1 minus 3x, what is delta 2? So here in essence they're saying that what is delta 2? In the place of x there is 2. So what is going to be this expression? So if I may rewrite the solution here, delta x is given by 1 minus 3x. So meaning that delta 2 is 1 minus 3, in where there is x is 2. So meaning that here is the value of x is 2. So this becomes 1 minus 3 times 2, which is 6. And our answer is negative 5. Now we have part B. If delta A is equal to 4, then what is A? So delta A, first of all, is that from this expression, delta x, which is our question, is given by 1 minus 3x. And we are being told that delta A is equal to 4. It means that when the value of x is taken up by 4, if the value of x is taken up by A, we get an expression as 4. So if this is our expression from the question, we are being told here that delta A is equal to 4. So delta A, it means that this has been taken up here. This is our A. So it means that when our value of x is A, it means that this whole expression, this value of x also is now A. So if we may write the next step in that regard, it's going to become 1 minus 3a is going to give us 4. So this becomes minus 3a, giving us 4 minus 1. And our value of a here is 1. So let's go on to part C. We're being told that what is delta 3 over delta 1? Delta 3 over delta 1. That's going to become now delta 3. From here, our value of x in this case has become 3. So we substitute for 3 here. And this becomes 1 minus 3. Our value of x is 3. So this is 3 times 3. 3 times 3. Divide all that by delta 1. It means this is becoming 1 minus 3 times 1. like that. So we go ahead and find the expression here. This is going to become 1 minus 3 times 3 is 9. Divide that by 1 minus 3. And this is going to become negative 8. Divide that by negative 2. And definitely our answer here is positive 4. So in our number 5, which is definitely the final number in this session, we are having a graph of f of x right here, and we have a few questions to answer about this in reference to this graph. We are being told that for the function graphed above, like you're seeing, what is f of 1.5. Now if you look at our graph, this is they are asking us that what is the value of this function when the value of x here is 1.5. So of course this is our value of this is our x-axis, and this right here is our y-axis. So now when they say f of x when x is 1.5, what is this whole function? It's like they are saying what is the value of y when x is 1.5. So we come here and look for where 1.5 is. Definitely 1.5 is right there, and if you look at 1.5 here, it's corresponding to a value of y as 2. So meaning that the function when the variable x is 1.5, f of 1.5 is equal to 2, or it's the same as saying the value of y is 2 when x is 1.5. So that's part A. Part B, we are being told that if c is greater than 0 and f of c is equal to 1, what is c? So now what is c? So what is c when the value of the function is equal to 1? Or in other words, they are saying that when the value of y is 1, what is the value of x? Because in the brackets here is the variable, and our value of x in this case is c. So we look for f of c, or the value of y, when it is 1. When our value of y is 1, if I may come here in this, our value of y is 1, or our f of c is 1, is this line. This is the line where it is 1. So when our value of y is 1, there are two possible values of x. We have this value right here, we have this value right there. That is according to this graph. According to this graph, when our value of y is 1, or when our value of f of x is 1, the two possible values of x is this and that. But then the question is saying that if c is greater than 0 and f of c is equal to 1, what is c? Now we got this, and we have their two possible values, and of course the value here is negative a half, comma 1, and then this one right here is 2.5, 2.5, comma 1. Now since the question is saying that the r value of c is supposed to be greater than 0, our value of x here is supposed to be greater than 0. If you look here, the value of x here is less than 0. So it means that the value of x they're talking about is this one, which is 2.5 or 2.5. So the value of c here is 2.5. So let's look at part C. For how many values of x is f of x is equal to 3 over 2? So how many values of x do we have when the f of x, or when the value of y is 3 over 2? If I may simplify that like that. So how many values of x exist when the value of y is 3 over 2? So 3 over 2 is the same as 1.5. So we shall go and look for the value of f of x is equal to 1.5, or call it the value of y to be 1.5. And we see how many values of x are there. So we shall come here and look. Our value of y is equal to 1.5 is right there. 1.5. This is the value. 1.5. This is the line. Y is equal to 1.5, or call it f of x is equal to 1.5. This is the line. So how many values of x are there? Of course, if you look at this function, this line crosses this at that point, at this graph at that point, and it also crosses it at that other point. So what does that mean? It means that when our value of y is 1.5, there are two possible values of x. This value and that value. So the answer to this question, for how many values of x is f of x is equal to 3 over 2, the values are 2. And that brings us to the end of this